Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy KebetFX. I got another banger trade breakdown on US30. Again, this setup was taken on my live trading room. If you guys want to trade with me, like always, it's going to be linked in my description. I think we're at like 103 members right now, and everybody who joins the free Discord gets a free one-on-one call with me, so I can see where you're struggling in your trading and I can help you best. So getting all of that done and talk through, another very important thing I want to talk about before we get into the video is thank you for 500 subscribers. I've really been working on putting out the highest quality content. And again, if you look at my quality of the content from when I started to where we're at now, the videos are a lot better. And that's in part of me, upgrading my editor, making sure I upgraded my camera, getting the newest iPhone, and doing these things to put out the best quality content for you guys and my YouTube community. So if you guys are enjoying these videos, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. With all of that through and talked about, let's get right into the breakdown. All right, guys, so this is the setup we took on the 5-minute chart trading US30. As you guys can see, the day did start off choppy, but very importantly, we broke under, and this is where we had fallen bearish on the day. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I like to use a pre-market analysis. So before we even get into what we were doing on the 5-minute chart, let's go and see what my pre-market analysis was on that day before. So very importantly, how I'm going to do that, I'm just going to switch to the 4-hour chart and walk you guys through what this zone right here actually represents. Why are these candles here? Okay, so we're going to go do that. All right, guys, so now we're on the 4-hour chart, and I'm going to be explaining why this zone is even being used to determine where I want to see price go. So very importantly, you guys can see we had a bullish trend. Okay, we were in this trend for a while. This is the 4-hour chart, so this is weeks worth of price action. Coming to the end of last week, we broke that zone. And very importantly, I trade off market structure. I'm a market structure trader. What are we doing? We came down here, we created a lower low, we rose, we created a lower high, we created another respectable lower low. We broke that previous respectable lower high, therefore making us bullish. We came up here, we created a new higher high. We came down here, we created a new higher low. Why? Because we created what? A new higher high. And at this point, we break in under this zone. So coming into my pre-market analysis, my zone, here's what I was seeing. Here's why I was interested in a sell, even though in the 4-hour, a lot of people could say, wait, buying price is going bullish. Why would you want to bet on the market going down? And I'll explain that. Very importantly, I know as long as we stay under my previous lower high, right, we're bearish. So we come here, we create a new lower low, boom, we create a new lower high. And I know as long as we stay under this lower high right here, we're bearish on the market. Very importantly, as I talked about here, we passed a previous respectable lower high. Boom. Now we go on and we're technically bullish. As long as we're above my previous respectable lower high, we're bullish on the day. We come into here, we create a new higher high, boom, okay, and we create a new higher low. Now, how is this a respectable higher low? The way for price action to become a respectable higher low is that it needs to close above the respectable higher high. Now, I know this might sound confusing, and again, this is why you have to actually trade the markets actively, but I'll explain it so it makes sense. If the market pushes here and we have a bullish close, great. If the market comes here and it falls, it's kind of breathing, okay, cool. But if price goes here, this is not a respectable higher low. Now, how could that not be a respectable low? We have the higher high. Shouldn't this be a higher low because technically we're pushing off it? No, that's not it. Technically, right, let's imagine this price action so it even makes more sense. If price came down here and created a lower low, okay, and then we came and created a lower high, just like this, we closed under that, therefore making this a respectable lower high, boom, okay? And then price came up here, right? Created a higher high, and then we were here, okay, boom. People would say, well, we're bearish because the market, no. What are we still above, right? My previous respectable lower high. Therefore, we're still bullish. Therefore, meaning the market could very well come and swoop all the way back here, then create what? A new respectable higher low and a new respectable higher high. Now, I don't even care about this zone. Now, when we're at this point, I know as long as price action stays above my previous respectable higher low, I want a solid A+ buy position. So how does that, involve this? Coming into this zone, you guys can see we created a new respectable higher high, a new respectable higher low. Why is this a respectable higher low? Because we came and we closed above it, and leading to the start of the day on that 4-hour candle, right, 4 session, we broke and we closed under it. Letting me know as long as price action stays under my previous respectable higher low, I'm going to be interested in a solid A+ sell position because technically we're overall bearish in the market. So let me just explain it one more time. Higher high, right? This is not a respectable higher low until we come and sweep these higher highs. But now from this point on, as long as we stay above this, we're bullish. And as you guys can see, we come down here and we actually come and we break this. Therefore, meaning I'm interested in a sell. So that's why pre-market analysis are important. You want to know what the higher overall time frame is doing. and you know where the overall trend is going. So with all that out the way, let's go on the 5-minute chart. All right, guys, so now we're back on the 5-minute chart, and this, you know, kind of crazy, right? Where we opened on the day, which I always have because it lets me know for bullish and bearish on the day, was that respectable higher low. And as you guys could see, this was that bullish push. We closed, we came back under my previous respectable higher low, which is actually this line represented. And again, we're under that, so I'm interested in what? Sell position. So reading my pre-market analysis, as long as price action stays under my previous respectable higher low, I'll be interested in a solid sell position, and that is this zone. So I know as long as we're here, I'm interested in the sell. So now it's 8:20 a.m. Okay, I'm talking with people in the live trade room. I'm telling people, okay, here's what I see on the day. We tried to push bullish, we couldn't stay. We've broken bearish and we stayed bearish. This right here is going to be a very important zone, and I'll explain why. Looking at this, we already know as long as we stay under the zone, I want a solid A plus sell position. If at 8:30 I see price start sweeping above this, I'm going to get in for that buy, because now I know it did not just break bullish on the 5-minute, it broke bullish on the 4-hour. And now if we give us one more candle, so you can see what it looks like at 8:20, right? Boom. And then 8:25, again, we enter setups at 8:30. When I'm looking at this, here's what I see. If price action on the day comes and sweeps up at this zone, I'm going to get in for that buy position. I like to have a 25-point stop loss. It always really serves me well. I'm going to get in here. Boom. I'm going to have a 25-point stop loss. And again, the average breakdown in US 30 has been really high. So I know no matter what, it's going to be very likely I secure that 1 to 2. Now, I know we're still under my sell zone. So again, this is why that's important. I want to see this break the sell zone for me to get in for a buy. But if I see price start rejecting this zone, I know, okay, there's a very high chance we're going to fall where? To our previous lows, whether that's right here or all the way down here. Now I know the average breakout is 145 points for the week, but I know, okay, if price action opens, okay, and we start falling under this zone, which is letting me know sellers have the market, and we reject this zone, which I know is important because I know if we break above it, we're bullish, and if we reject it, well, that means sellers have the market. I'm going to get in for this sell, and I'm going to try to get a 1 to 2 risk to word. So with all that understood, I explained in the live trader room, 25-point stop loss, 8:30 comes around, and boom, we break that zone. We break that zone immediately. So we come, we sweep this zone, just so you can see right here. I hop in for my sell, and again, within literally a couple minutes, I'm at that 1 to 3 risk to word. I'm on a $25,000 profit from account, risking 1%, so that's $750. And just like that, in that 1 5-minute candle, I'm able to secure a 1 to 3. Now, you can see if I move this, it fell a lot more. And so I got out the 1 to 3. A lot of my members probably caught around a 1 to 4, 1 to 5. But all I want these videos to explain to you guys is you need to have confluences. You need to have risk management. You need to always risk 1% if you're trading a prop firm. Now, again, if you were risking 10% of your account on a personal, you could have just made 30% in a couple minutes. Now, again, a lot of people don't talk about that. Just as easy as it is to make this money, it's as easy as it is to lose it. And what I mean by that is a lot of people will say, yeah, I'm making 3% or 4% on a day, which is amazing for a prop firm. But if they don't have risk management, they can go and lose 5 to 6. And so we always have risk management. If we're wrong, we get off the charts, okay? And you're going to lose. If anybody tells you you're not going to lose trading with them, they're scamming you. We don't do that here, right? We are going to lose setups, but we make sure we have a positive risk to reward. We take high quality setups, and again, if there's no setup there, we pass up on it. So I hope you guys enjoy these breakdowns. Again, another banger video for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. So it's your boy KBetFX. I'm out.